All right. Welcome back to Understanding Crypto, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Herve, and every other day here, I try to bring you crypto in the easiest way possible on the internet. If that is the type of content you find interesting, be sure to click the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel with your notifications on so that you don't get to miss any other value-packed video like this one. Now, I haven't made a video for about 2 months. Now, I'm talking about YouTube videos because I've been making some TikToks in the past couple of days and weeks. About 2 months ago, I told you guys that I will not be around. I had some real life stuff to attend to, but I'm finally back now so we can continue updating and also doing some research here. Now, it's been a brutal couple of months, folks. It's been crazy. Bitcoin basically has been in the same place that we left it. I think in my last video, we speculated that it could continue to range like this until year's end. And until that, yeah, that could be very bad for altcoins, because a lot of market participants will be uncertain of the market, so they may decide to sell. But yeah, that's literally it, folks. That's the process. If you decide to sell, I had so many coins that were up. I had some that were up more than 2x actually, and with I sold some, but some of them I didn't sell, and now they are down. Some are at break even. I've even bought some more, but basically this is the process. Yeah, this is just this is it. This is crypto. You could sell in anticipation of a drop, but you don't know exactly when what you think will happen might happen. You don't know. We could be on the idea that Bitcoin will go to, I don't know, 100K, 80, 77, 75. The problem is the time axis. Knowing when is the problem. And so if you sell on the idea that you want to wait until, you have some favorable signs of it going back up or anything like that, it could potentially just rip up the next day. And so that's why I just prefer to hold on to some of my longer term holdings and watch them fall with the idea that they will eventually go back up. Well, except crypto goes to zero. That's why I always say nothing is certain here. Nothing is certain in crypto. It could all go to zero the next day. And this is something that I really want to stress on. I get a bad rap from this. I talk about it sometimes and I tell people that, hey, we are in crypto, yeah. We hope that prices go higher. We have the right analysis. We have the right everything. But it is an uncertain market. It is a young industry that can literally go to zero the next day. We do not know. Heck, we don't even know the founder of Bitcoin. Yeah, if Satoshi Nakamoto, for some reason, reappeared tomorrow and said, all right, he doesn't believe in Bitcoin anymore and he's selling everything, what do you think will happen? Everybody will sell, and these things will go to, most of them will go to zero. So we just say this to emphasize on the idea that we are investing in a young industry, and basically we are investing for the future. We could potentially trade between the bull and the bear markets, but the whole idea of being in crypto now is for the future. But it's important to understand that we do not know. Some of us, like myself, bet 100% in this industry. Yeah, like I don't have any other investments except from crypto. If it goes to zero, yeah, then I'm totally screwed. But I just want that everybody understands that this is a risky industry. It's very risky investing here. And whatever investment you make, know that there is a chance for zero for whatever investment in crypto, even stable coins. I mean, you all know about UST. It went to zero. So we just want to be clear here. Nothing is guaranteed. We are just trying to have the best guess, and we have methods that we use to assess and see if it will follow our idea. It may not follow exactly at the time that we talk about it. It may follow it later. But the whole idea is to understand that it's extremely risky. Now that we have that behind us, now that we all understand how risky crypto is, and of course, with the risks comes the gains. That's why we make a lot of money in crypto. That's why you put in your money and you can potentially do a 20x. It's because you have accepted those risks, and the average retail has not accepted those risks. And so they only come in when they see that, oh, it's really up. So they buy, but not knowing that by them buying is basically going to make you realize your gains. So we are going to start with the S&P 500. And the reason why we look at the S&P 500 is because it is the broader markets, yeah? So if the S&P is going to enter a bear market, there is going to be a very good chance that, crypto will also go down with it. So that's why we look at the S&P 500. So the S&P is basically where we left it. Yeah, I've been updating about this on Telegram. If you are not in my Telegram, you may want to join the Telegram now. I will leave the link to that in the description of this video. You may want to join the channel because that's where I update you in the moment. So if anything is to happen, I've been updating you there for the past 2 months that I was away. So you may want to join the Telegram or follow me on Twitter. That's X now. Or join the Discord group where we have a chat section. You can talk with like-minded individuals and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. So we are basically in the same place as we were before with the S&P. It's very slow. The last time I spoke about it, it was somewhere around here. And there were some people who were like, it has topped out already, but I don't think it has. I still have analysis to suggest that this thing will even go way higher than anybody imagines. I think it could go as high as this level right here. That is 5,600, 5,900, and the extreme target will be somewhere around 6,200 to 6,900. This zone right here is the highest that I can see for the S&P. I don't have the analysis to suggest anything higher than this. Now, note that we are not saying it must go up there. We are just saying that given the analysis, given all that we can find on the charts, I don't want to start looking for all the techniques here now because it will just be about a 5-hour long video. But given my analysis, this is what I see for the S&P, and I think it hasn't topped out just yet. This zone, however, is proving to be a good zone of resistance. So maybe it will, consolidate here for some time. But my entire thesis is that the S&P will go up to these regions right here. That may happen later this year, but that's the idea. We don't know when, but yeah, there you go. So the next thing we have to look at is Dixie. So that is the dollar. And the dollar has some very interesting charts, actually. So here on the dollar, we can see, I did send you this chart the other time on Telegram. Yeah, I sent you this chart and I showed you where the 2017 all-time high for Bitcoin was. And I also showed you where the 2021 all-time high for Bitcoin was right here. We'd see that the 18K, this region right here, which is the highest point that the dollar reached, was where Bitcoin reached 18K. That was actually a consolidation on Bitcoin, if you'd remember, because it dropped down to 17 and it consolidated around 18 before going down to the 16 and 15K regions. It's interesting to see that the dollar did not do the same. So Bitcoin basically dropped to 15 and 16K while the dollar was also dropping. So this simply shows us that this 100% negative correlation that people talk about is not true. It's not the case. We can see it from here. If that were true, then Bitcoin should have dropped while the dollar pumped. But Bitcoin actually dropped as the dollar dropped. So the question would be that, yeah, what happened? Well, it will now be USDT dominance, and that's why we always look at USDT dominance. Now, from this particular chart right here, I will be on the idea that the dollar will find its way down to this particular region right here. This point is the 0.786. That should be 0.786. Yes. So at this particular point right here, that's where I will again come back to do some more analysis. But I'd be on the idea that it drops down to this region. We've had the first drop here on the weekly time frame. This is macro update, by the way, so we're not talking about things that happen. So we are not talking about things that will happen tomorrow. We are talking about things that can potentially take a lot of time to happen. And so with this first drop, I'd want to see another one, which is something that I've shown many times on the channel. Yeah, so we usually have something that will look like so. One, that's the first drop, retrace, and then another drop. This second drop is usually longer than this first drop right here. Sometimes it will look somewhat horizontal, like so. Yeah, so it's not a must that it's like so. No, it can also be horizontal like so. So yeah, that's the same type of thing that I would be expecting with the dollar right here. Interestingly, it will be testing this ascending trend line from this bottom right here up to this region, and you could make a case to assume that this whole formation is a rising wedge, and so you'd expect that it will break down at some point. But we'll be waiting to see what happens here. Even if it does break this particular region, we have another Fibonacci zone right here, which could still bottom that thing. So yeah, these things are on the weekly time frame, folks. So yeah, it will take some time for us to come back and update on this. But basically, I'd be more on the bearish idea for the dollar. We could still see some little spike up, but still, on this particular weekly time frame, I'd be on the idea that the dollar finds its way down to somewhere around here. When it does come down here, I will do another update, because that could be the top for crypto, like bull market top. So we will be looking out for this. All right, the next thing we have to look at is USDT dominance, and that's actually our nemesis. Basically, that's really where we have issues, because it is when this thing goes down that Bitcoin and crypto goes up. If Bitcoin goes down, well, everything else crashes. Yeah. But what I'd like to show you here is this other I've shown this already on this channel. Yeah, I've shown this many times. This long-term trend line that got broken down at this particular region right here. I've shown this already. However, if we invert this chart, which is actually where I stay bullish, we'd see a big drop. So we still have the trend line, but now it's a downtrend, because we inverted the chart. I invert charts not because it's easier to chart on them when you invert it. It's just that it's a good way to put some scrutiny to your bias. Yeah, so if you're on the idea that crypto is going to dump, you have to look at USDT dominance. And if you really think that USDT dominance is going to dump, which will pump crypto, then invert the chart to see if you'd have the same idea for it pumping. If that is the case, then you are most likely to be right. So we see here that we had a nasty drop. Yeah, nasty drop from here, and the same type of stuff that I spoke about. Yeah, so you have this type of stuff like so. Drop, retrace, drop. Now, inside of that retracement, you'd have other retracements, which is what I need to get a mouse pad. This one is making some noise here. So inside of that retracement, you'd have other retracements that look like so. This drops down to here, and this comes down to here. All right, so my idea is that we saw this nasty drop. It consolidated for some time, and then it took off. Now, I would read this as a test of this consolidation right here. which is just normal. Yeah, you'd have to excuse the noise from my mouse. I need to get a new one, a new mouse pad. So this consolidation which we see here, so this consolidation that we see here is what I am of the idea that we are testing right here. Testing to do something that looks like so. Now this on the regular chart is actually saying that USDT dominance goes to the downside. That will be very good for crypto. Yeah, very good actually. So simply that's how, and this is the same thing that I did with Chainlink. Yeah, if some of you do not know, let me just show you. I gave you Chainlink at I gave you Chainlink at $6 and 20 something, or 662, $6 and $6.62. And then I made another video at $5, but I think I made that on TikTok, talking about this spring, Wyckoff spring. And so this is the same type of situation that we have here with Chainlink. You see the dump into consolidation and then the move up. Now this right here is another, but this is following Wyckoff. So I'd call this the reaccumulation for this. After this reaccumulation, I'd expect another move up from here. This is all assuming that we're going for the bull market, folks, because if we are not and these things are going to go to zero, then, well, you know, what could we do? All we have are the charts and we just have to follow them. If these whales and market makers decide to, you know, come upon us all and dump, then we have no other thing to do. We just have to look at the charts and say what we understand that the charts are trying to tell us. So yeah, that's basically the same thing that we see on USDT dominance right here. So on the daily, we have some interesting information. You'd see that this particular week down to this region right here is the reason why Bitcoin topped, because that was actually the top. Yeah, this week right up to here is the reason why Bitcoin topped on this was the 1st of May. This is the reason why Bitcoin topped. And so that could be a Fibonacci level. It has to be. If you take from here to here, it should be the 0.618. Good. So that's the reason why Mr. Bitcoin topped right here. So we have a big dump, move up to 0.618 Fibonacci level, and a crash. Yeah. And if we then look at that particular crash and do the same thing again, we should be getting that level now, shouldn't we? Yes, we do get the same level, the 0.618. Let's take this one to the middle. So take this one to the middle. It should be like so. All right, so we have the 0.618 level right here. This is the reason why I gave you these zones. This is the error margin. I have another Fibonacci level that extends right up to here. But basically, yeah, this was the reason why I gave you this zone. And I did inform you all in the Telegram channel when Bitcoin came up to this, when USDT dominance came up to this zone. I had some analysis on Bitcoin that suggested that Bitcoin could go as low as 63 to $59,000. But I also had this particular analysis right here. And so my analysis would have suggested that if it did come up here, there's a chance that it will top. Now, if it does top, that quite literally means that the money will flow into Bitcoin, which is why I did say that I'd have to back off from my 63 to 59K region idea on Mr. BTC because of this particular issue right here. Now, it is unclear if it is going to go back up there. I will probably have to make another shorter video going right into the intraday to analyze that. But the macro picture of all of this looks like a move back to this recent low right here. The macro picture, this is the same thing that I showed you guys the other time. Yeah, I show you this on Telegram. I do something that looks like so, and then some people will ask, what is that? So the idea is that it targets this region back again. On the inverted chart, it looks like a high, but on the regular chart, it's actually a low. The idea is that it targets this region, which is why I drew this right here. And I'm of the idea that as you zoom out anyway, it starts to give you this particular 2.618 right here. Now, that is a region that I would want to watch out for because it could mark the top. Yeah, I will be watching out for that. I will be looking out for that. You know, all of these coins will go up, except, the celebrity coins and every other stupid meme coin and stuff. Well, most meme coins like Shiba Inu and Pepe, they will all go up. All of them will go up, yeah? But so we want to catch the real deal, like which one really does those insane gains, like the 50x, the 70x, which one does that? Yeah, that's what continues to bother me. But so long as we are going to have a big plummet like this on USDT dominance, well, that is most likely going to take Bitcoin to exceeding some crazy numbers. Maybe that will actually take Bitcoin to 100K. But we will analyze this again some other time and see if it is indeed possible. When it does come down here and retest this high right here, that will be where Bitcoin will be. It will basically retest its all-time highs. So yeah, the all-time high now is 73.8, I believe. So yeah, when it does come here, I will make another quick update video to reassess on what is going to happen. But there's a good chance that it may very well continue straight up, as we will see in the next couple of minutes. A setback that I could say I have here on USDT dominance is, the chances of it breaking out of this particular region right here. If it does break out from here and close a daily candle above this trend line, then that can be a big call for concern. However, when I look at it from the macro, I can't make a case for it going back up to this particular region right here without at least coming down to this level. I can't make that case. It will be intellectually dishonest for me to say that it goes up there, because the same strategy that I would use to suggest some moves up would suggest that it comes down here first. When it comes there, then I will look. But I'd be on the idea that it goes even lower to this region right here before I can begin to make a case for it coming back to the downside. So my general idea here is that it goes up still. Yeah, I'd be on the idea that it goes up from this region right here and potentially go as high as this 2.618 right here. That will be, again, the same thing that I show you all the time. That move that I show you like so. I did this with PETH, yeah? PETH network. I did this with PETH, and I'd be on the idea that it tests this level right here. Yeah, this will be where I'd assume that we have some sort of top. It's not to say that it cannot go higher than that, by the way. It could still go higher, but I'd see this as my main target. Potentially it goes even higher, but this would actually be my main target for this entire formation down here. At least this is where I think maybe the alt season will begin or something. Now let's go to Bitcoin dominance, BTC dominance. We will see some very interesting stuff. Yeah, we don't really have any interesting stuff on Bitcoin dominance. We just have to accept this thing has been messing with us since 2022. We've not had our alt season. The alt season is not here yet. It's not here yet. Some people confuse, alt prices going up with alt season. That's not alt season. Alt season is Bitcoin, or say altcoins, generally overperforming Bitcoin. So if this has not broken down yet, then there has not been any alt season. which is to say that if your altcoins have gone up already, yeah, they simply went up because of maybe some promotions and the markets were generally, it was a nice time. And so people invested and stuff. They converted USDT to their favorite altcoins. But the real money has not come into them yet. Until that happens, you will not see the real gains or say the maximum potentials of your favorite altcoins. And so my idea for BTC dominance is for it to go to somewhere around 62%. That is the level. You could give or take 1 or 2%, yeah? But this is the level where I'd expect that Bitcoin dominance comes to. What we are waiting for, by the way, just so you understand, what we are all waiting for is this particular move. Because this is where altcoins overperformed BTC in the last cycle. And this is 2021. So we see that for the entire year, altcoins generally overperformed BTC. You could have invested in anything and made money. And so this is what we are waiting for. Factored into this particular cycle, it would mean that the alt season will only come from somewhere around December of this year. But again, we saw a new all-time high before the halving. So maybe we really are not following anything that we ever did before with the previous cycles. And so to assume that the alt season must only start by the ending part of this year would be stupid. So we just have to wait and see when it does happen. However, if we just look at past history on this alone, then we just have to be ready to wait right until this year's ending or next year even. We don't know when, but yeah, that is simply how it happened in the past. But basically, we are waiting for something that looks like this. My analysis would suggest that it still goes higher. Now, you'd notice that in the past couple of days we had some big drop. Yeah, it wasn't a really big drop. Like, it wasn't an alarming drop that made the news. Altcoins just dropped. But then Bitcoin dominance did not pump in that altcoin drop, which means that retail investors, not retail investors, whale investors and traders, were not converting their alts into BTC. So I'd assume that it was a retail dump. If, for me to confirm that it was a whale dump, therefore BTC dominance needs to be going higher. Meaning that they are expecting something even worse than what we were seeing, or they are trying to manipulate us out of the markets. Yeah, but that's not what was happening here. This thing simply has been in the same place forever. Literally, this thing has been here at this particular range since April, So, yeah, we are still in the same place with this. Since we've not had any pump on this thing amidst the drop, I'd be on the idea that this thing could still go up in a Bitcoin pump. I see a lot of people on media, posting Bitcoin dominance charts saying that it's still going to go higher, your altcoins will go down. And yeah, they may be right, yeah? But I'd say that a lot of them forget that this thing could also go up in a Bitcoin pump. And in that, if that does happen, altcoins will not be dropping at that time. Well, at least they'll not be dropping as they would in a Bitcoin dump. So they'd mostly be consolidating or slightly going higher, but not as strong as they would in a Bitcoin dominance drop. So if that is to be the case, you could potentially be waiting for an entry and never get it. So yeah, at this point, so long as this thing is here, and I think we will go up on BTC, then there is an increased chance that this thing goes up in a Bitcoin pump, which of course will mean that the pump may not really take altcoins to their highs and stuff, but that is how we get the alt season. So basically the alt season will look like this. That's why I drew this thing. It's calculated, by the way, it's not random. I see some people on media, they draw lines that look like this, that say it goes here and that it looks like it go up, but they just, just do it. This is all calculated. Like these points are all calculated, and that brings it down to here, which comes back to this particular one right here. So this could potentially be the top of the alt season whenever it does happen. So when it does come here or here, I will come back to check. But at least we will have a free ride that comes down like so. So yeah, that's basically it, folks, with BTC Dominance. It hasn't changed. It's really just the same. So you see my projection for PETH, yeah? When I signaled this, I told you that it can drop by about 27%, but the error there was that it can drop by about 25%. I mentioned 27 because I was seeing this 27 cents here. If it does go here, I'll probably buy this thing, to be honest. Yeah, if it does go here, I will most likely buy again, to be honest. But there's a good chance that it has bottomed already from here. So yeah, my idea will be that it comes back into this particular region right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next thing we have to look at is Bitcoin itself. Then we go to the total altcoin market cap. So on Bitcoin, we are basically where we were before. You know, when I made some video here saying that I think we will go as high as, I think I was talking about 77, but I told you this thing could consolidate here forever. You know, you could have a move that looks like so, go back up like so, and do like this forever before go up. So it could take a very long time. Now, what I'd like to show you, which I've talked about in other videos, I don't know if you'd remember, I post it on Telegram most of the time. Well, where I think we are is in this point right here. This is where I think we are. So in this particular cycle, in this other cycle, I think we are somewhere around here. Which means that where we are here, well, according to what I think my analysis is telling me, is similar to this point and is similar to this point before a big move up. It's not to say that we must go as high as we did in this particular time, yeah? I'm not saying we will go by 5x from here. There are some charts that could show some crazy numbers actually, but I am more on the conservative side of things. Yeah, history has taught me a good lesson. So yeah, I have reasons to believe that we are somewhere around here. Now, you might be like, well, this is below the previous all-time high, yeah? And this is also below the previous all-time high. Regardless of that case, if you take from here and measure it, you will see that this particular top right here was actually about 400%. If you bring that to here, you will see that that top was somewhere around 299%. So from 15,800 to 73.8K is somewhere around, that's like 363%. So you see that we have not really gone up a lot compared to the past cycles. The reason why this would look like so is because in this particular cycle, we did not drop as much as we did in these other cycles. So in this cycle right here, you'd see that we dropped by 86%. In this cycle, it should be somewhere around 84%, yes, 84% here. And in this cycle, we only dropped by 77%, if I am. Yes, 77%. So you see that this whole idea of Bitcoin going above its previous all-time high before the halving is actually, in a way, is what it's been doing all along. I'm not saying that it literally did that, but what I want us to understand is how high it went from its bottom each time before consolidating for the next move up. here was 400%. And if you take this 400% and put here, you will see that it will go even higher to somewhere around 80K. So if you look at it relative to the drop from the all-time high to bottom, you will see that it's not done anything miraculous. It's just done what it has mostly done. It's the same thing here. And I have reasons to believe that it's doing a lot like this particular cycle, this 2015 cycle. Yeah, I have reasons to believe that this is actually playing out to look like 2015. And if that is the case, then we may go up, but not as crazy for some months to come. We may actually just consolidate our way to the upside. Yeah, that may be the case. But yeah, that's something that I wanted us to notice right here. This will actually mean that we may not have any huge catastrophe for the foreseeable future, in the near future. So we may consolidate like so and still have some smaller drops, but it may not be as crazy as some people might expect. I see some guy on Twitter saying that Bitcoin is going to go back to 44K. He may have a point, actually, because 45K is the absolute lowest that I can see from here. I'm not saying we are going to 45. Let's be clear. I'm not saying we're going to 45. I'm just saying that, yes, there is some data to suggest that level, but it's not enough to counter the idea of going up instead. Note that what we do is we look at evidence, basically. Yeah, charting is a science. So we look at evidence, and if most of the evidence is pointing to up, then we believe that it's going up. If most of it is pointing to down, we believe it's going down. But it's not to say that there is absolutely nothing, no case you can make to suggest that it can go the other way. That's how you come about having stop losses, yeah? Because of the chances of it going to some region. All right, so just so that we know, I think we are somewhere around here, and it looks to me anyway, it seems to me that we are still pre-bull. Another thing you'd notice is the stochastic RSI right here. This actually coincides with the daily stochastic as well. And we have a daily stochastic cross right there. I'd be on the idea that we go up on this thing. Yeah, I'd be on that idea. And going up on BTC will coincide with the idea of USDT going down. So we will see how that happens. Now, on this weekly time frame, there is some other thing that we can also catch from here. If we were to look for where the possible all-time high could be, yeah, because that's a question everybody would be asking. Even I ask myself that same question. We can have this Fibonacci projection that looks like so. So we can have this Fibonacci projection that will go like so. Now, this would suggest that we could go as high as $105,000. And that could go even as high. We can still continue to go even as high as $170,000. That's the maximum peak that we can see for this particular projection. And so for that to happen, for us to even, consider that idea and remain on, it potentially happening, BTC will need to close a weekly candle above this level right here. And by weekly candle, we are not just talking about it closing, like a bit of the candle up here. We're talking about a full body close. Most of it should be up. So we need a big rally, actually. Yeah, because that will not be a small, pump. That will be anywhere around a 15% pump. Yeah, 15 to 16% pump. So it will not just be a small rally. We need something like this to confirm that we are out of the trenches. Yeah, we need something like this on the weekly. And hopefully this should actually come soon, by the way, because my fears with USDT are that it breaks to the upside. And if that happens, then this thing will plummet badly. Anyway, we don't have that analysis yet. We are still waiting for confirmation. But on the macro side of things, we need a weekly candle close above this level right here. A strong weekly candle close above this level to confirm a rally. Yeah, to confirm a rally. After that weekly candle close above this level right here, it will be very difficult to make a case for prices dumping again. So yeah, we need something like this here on Mr. BTC. Zoomed into the daily time frame, if we zoom into the daily time frame, well, I cannot say for certain that it cannot still come back down here. I gave you guys this level the other day, yeah? I cannot say for with an absolute degree of certainty that it cannot come down here. Even though I am on the idea that it goes higher, just that I will not be surprised that it comes down here. Does that mean that I can go short here? No, I'd actually go long. But I will not be surprised if it comes down to below this inverted head and shoulders right here. I'd not be surprised if it came down here. However, I mostly lean bullish now based on my USDT dominance analysis. And we could also make a case for it, retesting the neckline of this W formation right here. And we'd say that it goes back to the upside. That upside would potentially be it going back as high as 69.1. Yeah, 69.1 to 70k. I actually have a projection for how high it could go, which I sent to you on Telegram. On the idea that it is to go up, which I sent to you, I showed you this particular projection like so. So yeah, and it's interesting that it bounced right where I suggested that it will come down to, yeah? When I gave you this on Telegram, we did not have this bounce here yet. So perhaps it's going to go up. The first region to target will be 68.5. After the 68.5 region, you are most likely going to see a retracement. And the next region is the 69K region. That goes as high as 69.5. And then the ultimate region will be 70.5 to 70.7. This is the point where USDT would actually be testing that local low, which I showed you earlier. Let me go back to the USDT thing. So yes, we should have it coming up. So that is the point where I'd expect USDT to be coming back to this region right here. If it hasn't come back to this region at that time, then it only means that Bitcoin will even go more higher. Yeah, so if BTC is testing those levels and USDT is not here yet, then BTC will go even way higher before USDT gets to this zone. But this will be the point where BTC is bound to have some sort of, big resistance. We'll be watching out to see what happens here, by the way. We will see what happens here because it could also result in some type of top. So we will watch out to see what happens when that does come into fruition. Yeah, I'd be on the idea that BTC will go even higher if USDT is going to test that low again, because I noticed that it's not 100% correlated either. Similar to the dollar, it's not 100% correlated. Nothing is 100% correlated in these markets, interestingly. So yeah, that's basically it for how high BTC could go both in the macro and in the intraday. For how low it could go, like the worst case scenario, we have 45k. That's the absolute worst that could happen to BTC. The other day I sent you guys a chart showing you that Bitcoin miners are, basically capitulating. Yeah, they are running out of money. They cannot mine enough BTC to run their machines. So those guys are in some trouble, which is why we had the hash ribbon indicator signaling capitulation. So perhaps we will have a buy signal on that hash ribbon indicator soon. Signal, and that is something that I actually showed you guys here on the channel a long time ago. I showed you the hash ribbon indicator. You remember at the time I was trying to convince everybody to buy at 27k? I would actually be buying into this dip right now. I would actually be buying into this red that we are witnessing. My first idea for that is because, well, I still think we will go to 47 or even 48k. When I also tried to convince everybody to buy at 22k, yeah, that was but the hash ribbon indicator flashed at somewhere around 29, yeah, around that region. But so we are waiting to see if we will catch a next buy signal on that indicator. So you'd see that the last time we had the buy signal, this was when Bitcoin was at 29k. I was trying to convince everybody that this particular week right here did not close below the trend line from the all-time high, and so it was still a good time to buy. I remember doing some videos like this, and it was hell, by the way. Many coins dumped, just like the dumped in the past couple of months. But yeah, they eventually go back up, given that they are legit projects and you know, they are backed by whales and stuff. They eventually will go up. But yeah, we are still waiting for a buy signal on this thing. We don't know exactly when that might happen, but we'd like to see a buy signal on this thing because it usually will go up. You'd also see that we had another buy signal somewhere around here. I remember that this is the time when I made that video, actually, this time, because we had this big candle here. I made that video on this candle. Yes, on this particular candle. So yeah, so that's basically it. What we have to look at again is okay, so now we look at the total crypto market cap for altcoins. By altcoins, we exclude Ethereum and yeah, just Ethereum. So if we exclude Ethereum, I would still have reasons to believe that we are somewhere here. Yeah, I think we are somewhere here. And the problem with this, the thing that actually, you know, messes around with my mind is how are we here so early? Because from here, usually we go vertical. Like we literally went vertical here. We are talking about months and months and months of just pump. This is 175 days, which is about 5 months, yeah? Somewhere around 5 months. Now, what's interesting with this is that we were just going up. You know, it was quite literally like this. Like you'd wake up to a 50%. This was 2021. You'd wake up to a 50%. The next day, maybe down 2%, 5%, usual issues. But then after the next 2 days, you're up 20%. You know, that was how it was. And that is what we are all waiting for. That's the moment that we are waiting for. And it can be frustrating waiting for this moment. Now, what's interesting to me is we seem to be right around the corner, like quite literally very close to this type of rally. Now again, maybe we don't do exactly like this. Maybe this time around it will look like this. Let me give you like a quick, you know, like projection. Maybe it will look like this and like this and like this. But it's just interesting that this was the meteoric phase, and usually it will happen in the post-halving year, around the ending part of the year into the post-halving year, which factored into this cycle, it will mean anywhere around October, November, December into next year. But the charts do look very similar, to be honest, like quite literally. It looks very similar. And so it's exciting in a way, but it's also frightening because it looks like they are trying to mess with our heads, to make us think, oh, this is it. Then we all go long, and they come and dump on us, or they stop us out. So, but it's really interesting, and I think we are somewhere around here with this particular position right here. I think this is the same type of point. If you look at things like the super trend indicator, you understand what I'm talking about. It looks like we are here. It looks like we are somewhere just before an expansion. And again, it's interesting in a good way, but it's also scary because they like to do things like this. Usually I look at Cardano because it follows analysis, like my analysis, a lot. And what am I doing? So Cardano is an interesting one because it's quite literally sitting at that point, So yeah, and you see what Cardano did after this consolidation. It went vertical, literally. If you take from this low right here to the first top, that's a 31x. A 31x in about 5 months. So this is not a joke. When I tell people that, yeah, some people ask me sometimes, are you still holding this? Are you still holding that? The question in my mind is, why wouldn't I be holding? Why do you think? Do you think I'm just going to sit? Why wouldn't I be I'm holding because I want this. Now, it's not guaranteed, it's not, let's take from where it exited that thing. Yes, about 5 months. And if you actually take from this particular candle, that's like 23x in like 5 months. Crazy stuff. So when people ask me, are you still holding? It just beats me that they don't see this, And some people think it could just dump, and that's true. We are not in any way guaranteed for any type of outcome here, but it's just interesting to know that around these same structures in the previous cycle, we went vertical, literally. We just put in a big weekly candle right here and went absolutely parabolic. Absolutely. With this, from this weekly candle, we had a dump, consolidated, and then just went parabolic. And it will be an interesting thing to see if it's going to happen this time around. With this indicator, these lines like so are moving averages, I'd say. So I'd expect that we respect it. And that's what happened here as well. And we are still holding it, at least for now. We have not turned bearish on the macro just yet. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So for the total 3, how high then could it go? How many trillion can this thing take? So if we use the regular trend-based fib, with trend-based fib, you can get this, like so. So we have not gone above the 0.786 yet on the trend-based fib. With on Bitcoin, we have reached the 1.618 already. Now, from this 0.786 fib, if we can close a weekly candle above this region right here, we'd be headed for this one, which will mean that the total altcoin, or say the altcoin market, will put in a new all-time high. That's relative to the last cycle, 2021. That will be extremely, it will take a very extremely bullish event actually, but it's possible still. It's possible. So the projection will show us that this thing can go as high as 2.8 to 2.9 trillion. Anywhere above 2.8, anywhere around above 3 trillion is overvalued. That's premium. So if it does come to this level, I will most likely sell off everything. Yeah, I want to make this clear. I'm holding all of my coins basically. I'm prepared for the bull market. But I want to make this clear. I will buy some more coins. I'm still looking for some microcaps to invest in. But to be clear, if you are following us here on this page, on the channel, on following Understanding Crypto, be following along, because there will be a time that I will sell everything. I mean, absolutely everything. The day I wake up and I post a video or post a tweet or something that I'm selling everything, know that it's everything. The reason why I stress on this is because I talked about selling some coins in the last cycle, and then in this cycle, some people still asking me about the same coins I spoke about selling. So let's just be clear. We are all traders. We are all long-term traders, yeah? But in my own perspective, when I talk about trading long-term or investing long-term, it does not mean that I will hold it through each and every bear market. No, I will sell. I will sell in this upcoming bull market, and I will reaccumulate that coin in the next bear market if I still have confidence in it. Things like Stratos, I will sell it in this bull market top, and there's a chance that I get back into it in the next bear market, assuming that the project continues to build. But just to be clear, I sell everything, absolutely everything, when this cycle does top, or when we have reasons good enough to make a position of, or say make a position that the markets have topped. When that time comes, I will make a video informing you here. Of course, before that, and throughout the days and weeks, I'll be making more videos, in the moment videos explaining stuff on the 1 hourly time frame. But just to be clear, when this thing gets to the 3 trillion level or the 2.8 trillion level, I will 100% sell everything. It's not even to say that we must get there, to be clear. Yeah, the 2.618 level can also be the top. It has marked the top many times with a lot of coins, so I'd be very careful here. However, the 1.618, I'm not too sure of that. I'm not too sure that that can mark the top. Yeah, I'd be on the idea of either the 2.618. At this 2.618, I'd be looking for more confluences, looking for things like, are we still having signs of Bitcoin going higher? Do we have more signs of a continuation of the rally? But I'd become careful at these zones right here. It is all assuming that we do go up, yeah, because we might as well just go to zero tomorrow. We do not know tomorrow. We are just looking at the charts and trying to forecast what will happen. But we have no idea if it is, we don't even know if we will be here tomorrow. So just to be clear, we just look at the data and we talk about what we see on the data. It might as well not happen, but yeah, we have to read it and follow the same strategy. Maybe try to fix it sometimes, but yeah, the idea is that I'll be on the position that this thing goes as high as 1.618 and 2.618 at least. This zone, I will become careful, but this is the ultimate zone that this thing should actually go to. How many percent would that be if this thing actually went as high as that? Oh my god, that's like a 20x. Interesting. Let's see this. This is like 168%. So I'd be on this one. When we get here, I think, yeah, we can actually do 168%. That's possible. That's possible. We came right up to this level without an alt season. It is possible that we go as high as that 168. Interestingly, it's the exact, it is very close to how high we've gone from the bottom. Interesting. So up to this level, once interesting. Huh. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So if we do get up to this level, then I will look left and right to see what's going on. Of course, I'll also look here. It doesn't mean that when we do get here, I will just, give up everything and just wait. No, I will also look. But this is the main zone that I'd be after, and potentially this one. This is the real extreme phase. I think this is where euphoria, there is maximum euphoria, and that's always this place, this point right here. It is the same way I got bunk. If you remember when I said I'm selling bunk, or no, when I said bunk must have topped. Yes, I did show you that projection on bunk, telling you that yes, one way that we could go about this is to be on the idea that bunk has stopped. So if you look at that particular top idea right here, you will see that, which is where I showed you with this arrow right here. Yeah, so if you take this to the left, that will show you the 4.618 to 4.76. So from that zone, bunk dumped by 58%. Yeah, bunk dumped by 58% when I told you that it's probably time to be selling that thing, that it has stopped. So it dumped by 58%. I wonder if it's going to continue yet another rally. Possibly it could go another rally. This could be the fourth wave, and possibly it goes up by about 2x, 3x from here. But I cannot buy this. Yeah, I can't buy this. What I've actually bought the other day, I put some money in it, is 1,000 sats. So 1,000 sats is a crypto that nobody's talking about. Just like no one spoke about bunk when I spoke about it. And so yeah, I do have my own speculations on this one, and those speculations will show that 1,000 sats could, well, it's some crazy number, I know, but the speculations could show that 1,000 sats does about an 18x, 18 to 50x. Now, I don't have the analysis, like technical analysis, to prove this level, but I do have some technical analysis to prove this one, the 18x level. And the worst case scenario with this is that it goes up by 50 to 60 to 70% above this high. That's actually the worst case scenario. And so I want to make you understand that if you've bought some coin and it's down, most of them will go back up. They'll most likely go back higher than when they got launched, yeah, if they are not rug pulls, of course. But the idea is that they will not make those crazy gains. So, and that's not why we are here in crypto. If we wanted that, if we wanted a 10% move, then we'd go to stocks. But we are here because we want these crazy numbers, yeah. And so the worst case scenario here is that I get to make about a 300 to 400% gain. That's the worst case scenario. Another worst case scenario, or bad case, is that this thing goes up by what, about 100%. The question would be that how will I know that it has topped out? Wouldn't I just be waiting? And so to answer that is, I expect that this happens, these figures happen before we top out completely. So if we are to go to 100k on BTC and altcoins start to rally, there will be that euphoric phase. I'd expect that this does that in that time. If it doesn't, and I have reasons to believe that the altcoin market may be topping out in about a week or so, then I will be selling. So maybe it goes up then, maybe in the next 2-3 days, or maybe in the next week, but I wouldn't mind because I'm trying to save my capital. But the idea is that this should happen in the euphoric phase. So if we are approaching that euphoric phase, I'd expect that this happen, this 1000 sats. It's still in a buying zone, by the way. To be clear, to be very clear, this is extremely, extremely risky. It is a meme coin on Bitcoin that the creators of it created it to pay homage to Satoshi Nakamoto. Yeah, they don't have any Twitter account. I've tried to find some Twitter account. They don't have it. They are anonymous. And the whole idea is to be like Satoshi Nakamoto, yeah? Anonymous. But I just find it insanely crazy that it's listed on Binance. It's listed everywhere, but it did not do anything. It did not do some crazy numbers to gain that volume. And so it's just giving me, vibes, like bunk vibes. That's why I have eyes for it. And meme coins basically will not go anywhere. Everybody is going to invest in some meme coin in crypto. And I think many networks are beginning to notice that the way you get users to your network, which users is active daily users, is a crazy thing in crypto. The way you get them is you have lower fees and you have meme coins that people can trade. And to bring new people, to bring, say, developers to come and launch their meme coins on your blockchain, you need some meme coin that went crazy on that blockchain. That way, developers can come to that blockchain and be like, all right, I will launch mine. So maybe somebody will also come to gamble. So that happened with Solana. It happened with Ethereum, with Shiba Inu and Pepe. Yeah, it happened with Solana. For some time, it was kind of happening with Pulse Chain, but I don't know. It just died out. I don't know. I think it's mostly scammers who were there, and many people are not interested. I don't know. Maybe it will be later. I don't know. Maybe if Solana crashes and people start to look for options, they'll probably go to. I don't know. But my own idea is that Bitcoin whales could use the exact same strategy. Think about it. Miners are not making a lot of money right now. I think they are mining like 3.125 BTC per block. And they are not making money. Just about a month ago, or 2 to 3 months ago, they were making a lot of money from transaction fees. I think they can go to pump some meme coin on Bitcoin to bring retail attention, the same way that Solana whales did with Solana. That will bring them users, that will bring them developers who will be coming to launch their own meme coins on Bitcoin. And this is BRC20 token. So yeah, I think it could be this one. And my idea of it going to this level is that they could push it to a cent, which will be the dollar value if BTC went to $1 million or something. Is it 10 million or $1 million? Let me know in the comments or something. So, but by technical analysis, I think it could go as high as this region right here, which from my entry would be I think my entry is somewhere around 2 something, 221 or something. I think it's close to my entry. Yeah, around 2.1 or something. It's very close to my entry. So that will be like 16x from my entry if it did that. I'm not too sure if it will, but I'm just trying to make you understand that I have a speculation, a theory, which I am betting on. It could go to zero. It's a meme coin. It could very well just go to zero. Yeah, it could go to zero. But yeah, I'm just betting on my own theory. So if you share in my theory, then yeah, maybe you could bet as well. It's still at the entry. I do have some analysis to back the claim of it bottoming here, but who knows? It's a meme. It could just plummet. And yeah, you'd have no hopes of it coming back up. It's not utility. It might very well come back up, but yeah, I'm just betting for me. If you want to do this, by the way, do not risk more than 1% of your entire holdings. Do not risk a lot. Risk maximum 1%. If you are super comfortable, no, maximum 1%. Just risk according to your own guts. If you have $10,000, then maybe you could risk $50 or $100. Yeah. So just understand that it's a meme, and whatever you put in it, it can go to nothing. I'm just saying this here because when things dump, I am the one to get the blame. So just to say that it can go to zero, but yeah, that's my theory. You do what you want with it. All right. So let's complete with this total 3 thing. So I cannot make the claim to maintain that position that this thing goes to nothingness. I think we are somewhere around here, and I don't have the analysis I don't have the right analysis to suggest a crash from here. I don't have it. I don't have that analysis to suggest a crash from here. And so I'm mostly on the up idea. Yeah, I'm mostly on the up idea. If you look at the stochastic as well, I'd usually want to be bearish when the stochastic is here at the 80s or 90s region, but it's not there. Even on the daily time frame, it's also undervalued. So simply, I don't have much analysis to suggest a dump, like massive crash. I don't have the analysis. But if anything changes and we are really on our way to the abyss, then I'll make another video updating you. And also don't forget to join the Telegram. I will leave the link in a pinned comment down below so that you join, because when I'm not able to make a video for about the past couple of weeks, I had flu, and after the flu I got cough, and so I could not make videos. Even now I'm not so fine, like I'm not totally okay. But and in those moments I still look at the charts. It's comforting to look at the charts sometimes, so I still let you guys know what my thoughts are in the Telegram. And yeah, that's basically it. Even when I send forecasts for coins, I show you potential downsides. Sometimes I'd send you some coin. I think I sent CRV some other time, saying that, hey, if you know that you cannot hold through a drop, just sell now and forget about it. And yeah, it did dump, but it will still go back up. I'm not saying it's done. I'm not saying any coin is done. They will all go back up. But again, we are still looking for the one that gets to do the 50x and 100x for the large caps. I have not found that one already, to be honest. I was thinking of betting on Arbitrum on that, but it had an unlock yesterday actually, and I will be checking on it later. When I do, I will let you know in the Telegram. That's mostly it for my update, folks. I know it was a bit more random, but I hope you get the point. We are basically where we were before, just that most altcoins plummeted out of uncertainty. Most people think that there is another bigger crash coming, to be honest. If you look at liquidity heat maps, you'd see that people are shorting. There is crazy liquidity somewhere around 72K. And so there are a lot of people in favors of prices going lower. But I simply cannot prove that. At least I don't have the confirmation for that. There was a time I made a video here on YouTube telling you that if you are thinking of investing now, be careful. I made a video here on YouTube saying that, and before I sent some forecasts on Telegram, I also told you that if you really want to be buying these things, regardless of the potential USDT dominance rally, well, just be careful, because there could be a bigger crash coming. That crash did happen, and I was hoping that in that crash I'd buy Arbitrum, but I chose to buy PETH. Now, I'm already invested in Arbitrum, by the way. I'm not saying I'm not invested at all. I bought some Arbitrum, and my average entry on that Arbitrum bag is exactly $1. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it. I don't want to make the video. It's already too long, but yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. I am finally back now. We will make more videos and more reviews, and yeah, it will be great. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next one, and stay safe.